out there. They'll take the draw to the blocker side of the netminder. Going up against Jack Horbach. Dumped right back in and skated onto by Wolf. Wolf feeds it along. Peeled off the boards to Mack. Comes up with speed from the left wing side. Dumps and heads right after it. Luke Mittelstadt, younger brother of Casey Mittelstadt, played that. They got it to the right point, and then getting a shot on was Mack. Lincoln in their own zone. Coming up with it for Dominic James. He's dispossessed and will head to the bench. Dumped at Lincoln, able to get it out to neutral ice. LaFerriere will send it in deep, and then trying to apply pressure was Cole Kraft. Ferrier actually fortunate there. He was kind of kept upright. Slipping through, Ellis tries to make a play on that. A shot taken there by Kraft, but off the mark. And Des Moines gets it out to the red line, no further. Cross ice dump in from left to right. Luke Mittelstadt doesn't have a nameplate. Playing in his 6th game for the Stars of the season. From Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Like his brother who played for Green Bay. Splitting the season. The Buccaneers were a little bit unfortunate there, as the official lost sight of it, had already blown the play dead. But when you've got 4, you're wondering, why would the referee, who was on that side, be the one in charge of blowing that play dead or not? Because obviously if it slips through to the other side, a ref on the opposite side might be able to say, I can see that that's loose. Shot by Lidkey. Broken up by Lincoln. They'll head the other way. Tracked down, and Prokop is able to fight that off the stick of his adversary as waved it off. Stenberg finishes a check on Shade. Back at the other end. Lincoln makes a tough pass. They try to go inside. And a drive there. Kept off target. Nice defensive job by Keeker Olsen to make sure that that shot in the slot was broken up at the pass. Bevilacqua skates to space, then comes away with possession, feeds Lidkey. Stenberg has a man in Bevilacqua. He kicked it at first, but recovers. Stenberg will cross ice dump in from right to left. Mittelstadt finishes his check. He, like older brother Casey, will play at the University of Minnesota. Karpa try to pass out front. Had visions of hitting Tanner Latch. Now Karpa spins away. A little bit of contact there as Cooley got a piece of the jersey. Ellis was creeping down low for a shot. Instead, they throw one off the pad of the netminder, McCarthy. And gloved by McCarthy. Handed out to Horbach, and the release time of it, I should say. And the minor handed out to Mercury. So there will be a 36-second power play advantage for the Lincoln Stars. Driscoll stops on a dime, cuts the other way, and it will hand off to Paul Davey. Davey gains the line. Does a 180, fires the shot, and the netminder able to keep the pad. Typical starter for Lincoln, but it is McCarthy given the start for the Stars this evening. Willett has appeared in 41 games. McCarthy now in his 24th, cutting through. Karpa brings it to the forehand. Stopped there by McCarthy, and now Lincoln will try to spring out the other way. They'll drop it. Snapshot and a glove save by Malahi. Comes in with a 13-10-1 record. 2.67 goals against average. Couple of shutouts. Coming into the contest 464 saves on the season. Mercury gets sandwiched there by a couple of Lincoln goaltenders. Will be heading on to play hockey in the ECAC and playing for Ivy League schools. Remington Keppel committed to Cornell. So Mercury and Cooley both whistled for roughing calls. Checking his skates twice there was Ellis. He thought that he tipped that to himself. LaFerriere feeds it over. Here's Lidke. A drive and a save by the netminder. The netminder in a good position. Gets down. Faceoff will come to the catcher's side of the aforementioned Malahi. Des Moines wins it back below the goal line. Ellis gives pursuit. Malahi got a piece of it, then wanted to make sure that one didn't pop up and sit on the goal line. He fought it off and kept it to the side of the cage. Lincoln cycles it down low to the point. Shot. And off the mark was Bonet, but I think he was looking for a tip, looking for that apple instead of the goal. Turned over, bad break. Erdahl tried to feed a pass to a wide open Mercury on one side. Now Fairmouth will come away with it. Fairmouth slams on the brakes and plays it deep. Erdahl will dig it out from there. Up to Driscoll, kicked at, played down low. Fairmouth and fights to win it back. Helped out by Shouty. Lincoln comes away with possession. Kraft goes cross ice, knocked down out of midair. They had a man cutting in from the right side. Cole Kraft, a Lake Superior State valuable clock. Now Lidke plays it off of a body and out down the length of the ice. Down low, Lidke backhands it around. Master Domenico centers. Over for Mittelstadt. They'll get it down low. Master Domenico steps up, fires a shot, and up over the glove. He buries it. Oxen, he will for the entirety of the second period. As Karpa off the face-off. Tough angle, but not able to get much on the shot there. From the corner was Dominic James. Driscoll finishes a check, and I know it's frustrating for the fans. They don't like the call, but it certainly was a penalty. Tough to see from here whether it was worthy of a 5 in a game, but as Master Domenico feeds it over to the right side, and they'll send it back. Gets it from Mittelstadt. Those two connected on the last Lincoln Stars goal. Played all the way down by Lidke, and an absolute madhouse in between the benches there as both teams were making a change. Buccaneers are able to get fresh bodies out there. A minute gone by here in this major PK. The Hickland Garage Services penalty kill. And seeing nobody in black, and Clay Hannes in the same boat. Glove down and kept alive. Buccaneers will get to it first, and with a couple of players already out at neutral, Des Moines would have an opportunity to try to feed it ahead, maybe get a 2-on-1 short-handed. They'll settle for playing it down the length of the ice. Shouty's the lone man in the offensive zone. He'll turn and look to defend. From right to left, Lincoln slips through, looking for a centering pass. Broken up by Erdahl, and he'll play it all the way down. 80 seconds left to go in period number 2. 2-1, Lincoln on top. They took the lead with a power play goal. LaFerriere stepped up, smelled a little blood in the water. Lincoln able to prevent that from getting to the tape of 14. Now, he'll hand it off to Karpa. Karpa looking to get it back to him. Karpa then goes high with a shot. Netminder made the save. Didn't know where it was. Karpa with a shorthanded chance. Sent around, and Prokop, I was going to say, wins the race to the puck. It's more of a tie. And tie goes to, that's a team that's got 3 games left, and you're cheering for the other team the whole way. Same thing with Sioux City in their final 4. As this is dumped in with the Bucks still short-handed here. And as this is dumped in deep, down low, and Karpa gets it all the way down. So after that kind of complicated explanation, what I'd say is, unless they're playing Des Moines, we're rooting for Tri-City down the stretch and cheering against Omaha and Sioux City in every game they play. Send all Keeker Olsen on the draw, controlled by Lincoln. Brought back into the zone, but that had not yet been vacated by Des Moines, so they were in need of a touch-up. Play down low. Wolf wraps it around the boards. Keeker Olsen will pin his man there, waiting for the cavalry to arrive in Wolf to Burnside. Mack circles around his own cage, trying to get some separation. Does find some space. Gets it ahead. Wolf chips it for Burnside. Broken up. Now Lincoln looking to counter quickly. Salici slips underneath Noah Laba. And right in front of the penalty boxes. A little bit of a scrum. Lincoln with the discussion. Karpa and LaFerriere are the forwards. Karpa on the draw. Driscoll and Lidke, the defenseman. LaFerriere going in with Karpa. Tries to feed it out front. Upended was Karpa. They say play on. 3-on-2 the other way. Cutting through, and Lidke got a big piece of it. Malahi with a stop. Karpa is able to bank that out to neutral ice. Dump in, and Shouty will use that and slips it all the way down. McCarthy will stop it behind the goal line. 1:22 left of the man advantage. Lincoln bring it up the right side. That's picked off by Shouty, and he will deftly flip it into the northeast corner. Erdahl gave chase. Erdahl has it for a moment. It's stripped away from him, and Aiden Thompson peels it off the boards. Thompson tries to cut through the middle. Can't. Erdahl will find it. Erdahl, oh, at the last moment, poked away. Nice job by Veremyev. Mack keeps it alive. Feeds it over. LaFerriere couldn't get good wood on that attempt. Is able to push it below the goal line. Karpa comes up with a steal right at the blue line. LaFerriere gives his adversary a quick whack before heading off for a change. And then we will have additionally of moving up. They'll bring it to the north side of the center line. Latch takes that puck, won by Shouty at the face-off dot. Dumped all the way down. 26 seconds left of the man advantage. Prokop in the JLM Gun Shop penalty box. Big store prices, small store service. JLM Gun Shop on Douglas Avenue in Urbandale. And we're going to have an icing, and that'll bring it back into. Crowd grows a little restless. 1 over to Mastro Domenico. He'll slow things down, looks up to his right, skates just over the cap of the Buccaneer logo at center ice. Lidke comes away with it, sees Prokop coming out of the box, so decides not to ice it. Off the glass, Mercury feeds that ahead for Davey. Davey slows it down. Latch stays on side, slipped out, and now Lincoln in transition. Fed it ahead. Shot, And a goal coming from, had some fantastic highlight reel saves, but I believe we've got a couple up on Twitter already as Mercury takes that feed from LaFerrier and plays it deep. This is the coaching staff hoping to fire up the Buccaneers skaters, and 3 separate jousting matches going on out front of and around the crease. Mercury throws it out front, kicks off of a Lincoln skate, and all those bounces off the Stars' blades seem to be going the way of the visitors. Chupani tries to find soft ice. Mercury chips it deep, and that one pops off of or over the stick of the netminder McCarthy. Chupani with it, 7:45 to go. And it will carry him around for James. James lost the handle, pressured by Davey. Touched on and brought in by Carpa. Carpa waits. That will deflect off of James, who is applying pressure. Carpa steps up. Glove down by Lidke. He'll slide it over to the right side. Thought Erdahl would be the first one there. It's Davey instead. And a kneeing call here with 7 minutes and sends it all the way down. Mack will take it from Keppel. Mack backhands it over for Prokop. Prokop finds Chupani, hits him in stride. Chupani in with Fairmouth. Fairmouth backs him up. Mack looking for a redirection from Prokop, who was pinching down low. He'll now regain his spot as Carpa, the forward, was relieving him. Keppel will track it down. Mack and Prokop both back. Forechecking for Lincoln is Stanley Cooley, the captain. He'll play for Northeastern at the next level. Rimmed around. Davey has that one played away from him. Lincoln will get that into the feet of Henry Nelson. Deep by Veremyev. Veremyev gets a little bit of a tug on the jersey of Wolf. Bucks need to reset their net, but because LaFerrier tips that over for Prokop. Prokop takes the deflection, stays in the zone. James keeps it alive. Now played all the way down. Bucks in a tough spot here. Obviously, normally you'd say every time you get an opportunity on the PK, you just send it all the way down. The Bucks going to need to spark some offense here as well. LaFerrier with Carpa. They'll drag it out. Des Moines needing to pick and choose their battles. 30 seconds gone by in this Hicklin Garage Services penalty kill. Lincoln coming up the ice with speed. They are 2 for 6 on the man advantage, and I can tell you right now, as this is sent all the way down by Prokop, and Prokop draws contact there by Veremyev. Gleb Veremyev headed to the box. The offending team's zone. Carpa on the draw. Lidke gets it from LaFerrier. Carpa over for LaFerrier. Both teams have a player in the box, so this is your typical 5-on-4 without a safety net, as it's an empty net at the back end. LaFerrier tries to cut that back to Erdahl, and it will be an icing as tight quarters working against Sato. I don't know that I've seen Sato out on the ice since back in period 1. Burnside will peel that off. Stenberg on the right side takes the drop puck, hops over James, and Mack plays it around James down low. Burnside tries to feed that to the point. It deflects out. On his feet is Veremyev. As we are full and down to our final minute. A heads-up play there in front of the Stars bench. As waiting to come on was Nardicia to make sure that Lincoln didn't get assessed a too many men on the ice penalty, as the person he was covering or replacing hadn't yet stepped off the ice. Carpa